It's here. The time is now. It's a live chat. Hello, honey badgers. I don't want you to see my crotch, so I'm just gonna scoop that up a little. Oh, so what's happening? Well, here's the second night, night two, of the Honey Badger Don't Care NFT auction. And I want to say that I had my assistant had the great pleasure of speaking with BuzzFeed today, and we're doing a lot to promote and just get this thing going and get everything going and ready. Um, Big shout out to NetGems. I want a big shout out to Connor and Greg of NetGems, who have helped mint the original Honey Badger Don't Care video, the crazy nasty ass Honey Badger. They minted it and put the video onto the blockchain. And along with that, folks, we're auctioning off the trademark, the phrase that pays, Honey Badger Don't Care. And so, if anyone has any questions, if you want to ask me anything about cryptocurrencies or how this whole thing is working, because it's kind of like the Wild West right now, um, I just want to tuning in, and I want to give a shout out and mad love to everyone from around the world. Um, these are such strange and crazy times still, and we're learning a lot more about. Hello, Wendy. Hi. How are you, sweetie? Thank you so much for tuning in, sweetie. It's so nice to see you. That you're here and other folks are here tuning in. Um, yeah, so I just wanted to discuss with you what's happening. We Net Gems approached me, Connor and Greg. They're absolutely amazing, and they've gone into the NFT game themselves. They do the minting and auctioning, and right now the Honey Badger Don't Care, the original video is. Oh, it's so good to see you, Wendy. Thank you so much. Um, the original video was crunched down and minted and put onto blockchain. And so it's really the only one of its kind. It's like having a limited edition. There's the video as it exists right here on YouTube, um, and some other places have embedded it and used. But now, 10 years later, there is a limited edition one of one. Hey, hey, hey! Oh, you tuning in again? Oh, you want some more, Tamara? Hi! I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. TK. That's why I always call you TK. So it's really an exciting time, especially for creators. Um, it makes me think back to those great early times of YouTube, where we had creators such as Double Rainbow Fella, Big Bear, rest in peace. I actually was very upset, uh, disheartened to learn really that today that he passed away last year. I didn't even realize that. I'd spoken to him a few times, uh, and I just can't believe it that he passed away. Oh, and I love you, oh Sharp. Hi, hello, and welcome back. Um, so yeah, this whole NFT craze is simply a great way for creators to get their just desserts. What do I think of Steve Irwin? I love Steve Irwin and everything that he did for wildlife and education. Um, he was kind of like our generation's Marlon Perkins. Um, Steve Irwin uh, is just was such a blessed soul, and he really cared about wildlife and nature. And his daughter's fantastic. I don't know if you've ever seen. Yes, he was so sweet. If you've ever had the opportunity to see his daughter kind of picked up the torch, and she does wildlife programming too. And I think with her brother, if I stand correct. But he was amazing. I mean, he was such an inspiration. Anyone who can um, get people to focus on something such as nature or our economy or our society and how we treat one another, all those sorts of things, they're so inspirational to me. Those folks are able to do stuff like that. And he was one of them. Steve Irwin was definitely one. Um, it's like I think Shark Week did a lot of wonders too. Bindi, yes, thank you. She's awesome. She's a great person. And yeah, I mean, any time that you have, David Attenborough, and yes, oh, that's so nice to know that he's the reason why you study animals, Davis. That I mean, I personally think that it's a shame that it seems these days, at least throughout, or maybe it's been this way for a while, but it seems in our educational system, at least here in the United States, you dissect a frog and that's it, right? They make you dissect a frog, and you're like, oh, this is its guts, and this is what does that. But then there's no return to it. Maybe in history you learn that Teddy Roosevelt was a hunter. But you don't really learn about animals. You don't, or you learn about the oddities, but in school they don't. I feel that uh, children just aren't learning enough, or nearly enough as they should, about wildlife and nature. It's really kind of strange. Um, Dissected pigs. Oh yeah. Oh brother, I'm telling you. I know schools where they've done pigs, mice, rats, frogs. I hope they're still not doing it because, frankly, we have computers. You don't have to open up an actual animal, but if you have to, if you're a med student, I get it. They cut open cadavers, right? If you're in medical school, so I get it. But my whole thing is, it's like, don't stop there. We don't have to stop. Children don't have to stop learning about animals upon cutting open an animal, and then that's it. I children should know that there are more uh, handguns, for instance, in this country than there are lions left in the whole world, right? I mean, that just seems like something that children should be aware of or should know, but I don't think they know. Um, which brings me back to the NFT. One of the things I want to do when this honey badger NFT is sold, the auction ends on Saturday. And again, today is day two. Um, I'm going to donate a lot to Animals Asia and to the World Wildlife Federation. The animal gets such a bad rap as the opossums. Yes, God's cleanup crew. Opossums don't get a good rap, and neither do and raccoons. Before that reminds me. Thank you so much. One of the things that I love, obviously, about Steve Irwin and Attenborough is just their the way that they teach us about animals and wildlife and crocodiles. Prior to Steve Irwin, crocodiles were just kind of like, yes, or skunks. Skunks and crocodiles, they're just kind of, you know, they're they're um, we judge them. I don't know how else to say it, but like we judge our creatures and our wildlife. Oh, that's so precious. Yeah, I know. And I love opossums. There are some people who love them. A lot of people don't, just because of the stigma that we build up and we create about them. Skunks are docile. That's right. And a lot of folks have started to take in skunks as pets because they can be deskunked, which is kind of weird. But I'd rather an animal be deskunked than declawed. I don't understand that shit whatsoever. And I still, I've been working with uh, the Paw Project and a lot of other great um, institutions to stop people from declawing. Yeah, Steve Irwin was like that crazy uncle that would show you an animal and tell you how it works. Dave Attenborough. It's true, and it's important for not just children but for adults to know more about. Yeah, never declaw ever. Um, I think someone asked me if there are any animals that I'm afraid of, and what do I think of hyenas. I'm really terrified. I'm absolutely terrified of all wildlife, to be honest, completely honest with you. But it's because I don't know them. I don't know them well enough. I don't know wildlife well enough. So I'm just kind of always like intimidated. creeped out because it's not a human, right? But the more I do research and the more I learn and watch others like Attenborough and Irwin tell us about these wildlife, the more I feel connected. The more I learn about them, the more connected I feel. So I'm not really, there isn't one that stands out that I'm afraid of. Although the eyes, they're pretty damn crazy and a little intimidating for being so little. And I gotta say, what hyenas are very smart. Yes, I actually really like hyenas. They're the only ones to laugh at my jokes. Oh, please. Can you do a little bit of the Kobe spreader? Oh my goodness. I had such a blast doing the Kobe spreader. Oh, look. This one's coughing. I ain't getting any shot. Are you kidding me? I'm one for herd immunity. Ha ha ha. Ooh, look, the Kobe spreader does it again. Kobe spreader's just going to inject himself with bleach. I mean, folks, you know, I'm not, I don't want to get political, but the writing was on the wall. Once we found out that there was not going to be a first pet, the writing was on the wall. Sorry. You know who you're dealing with when you see what kind of leader what kind of pet the leader has. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, Putin is likes horses. So that's kind of cool. I mean, he's like a fearless leader. He rides horses without shirts on, and our former president was scared of sharks. But you see, he is not alone. There's so many people who are afraid of sharks and were afraid of crocodiles before Steve Irwin. But that's the thing. You have Shark Week, right? Which in Shark Week, what it was supposed to do, and I think it really did a great job of doing that, was just showing how normal sharks are and just showing you that like they're actually really not that scary and crazy. Shark Week was supposed to be a week of education with regards to water life, with a focus on sharks, whom everyone's afraid of. And the more that we discuss and focus on animals, I think the better it is. That's just the way it is. I mean, that's why, when you create stigmas against these animals. Now, you see, I have not watched the Tiger King show. I effing refuse to watch that stuff. I have no time for that. Um, that's just me. I know, not new, but I know some of the people involved in that debacle and all that stuff. So oh, I just, I can't, I can't watch it. I can't watch it. Never watch a Tiger Show thing. No, I can't. And I also can't watch. There's a documentary called "Don't F with Cats." I can't watch it because I just know it's going to be too upsetting. In like movies and stuff, right? Like who's with me? Like if you watch a movie, it's a horror movie and it's scary and it's gore and it's a lot of slashing. But if you dare kill the dog or the cat, I'm out. You lost me. You lost me as a viewer. You know why? Because there was absolutely no reason to kill in that story, which is all make believe anyway. There's no reason to kill the dog. I get, to serial killer, oh, it's slashing this person, now he's slashing this person. But, like, why not? Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I can't take it. So I just can't take it. You're making a work of fiction, and it's kind of like you've been killing all these people, and now all of a sudden you killed the neighbor's dog, or you killed the protagonist's dog. I mean, that's why I heard. Oh, anyways, have I watched Brave Wilderness? No, I haven't. There are some things that I really need to get to watching that I just haven't seen for one reason or another, and that's one of them. I gotta watch that. There are lots of fun shows about nature and wildlife that I really do enjoy. Naked and Afraid, or whatever that thing is called, is really amusing. Um, but I really like to watch uh, a lot of the old stuff, a lot of the old documentaries, and also a lot of Attenborough stuff. The more recent David Attenborough work is just incredible. When animals attack. Oh, it's crazy! Oh, these animals are attacking! Oh, it's crazy! It's a Kobe spreader. Hey, folks, do you remember the beginning of the pandemic when there were like a couple of cases of dogs giving COVID to their owners? Or am I just making that up? I could swear that there was like 2 cases maybe of like a dog getting sick and then passing it on to its owner. Isn't that strange? Like how like that came up and it was like a blip and then it went nowhere. It was just like to scare us, right? They were like, here's this new pandemic that's coming, people are getting sick, and dogs may be carriers. But then they never came back. You remember that. Nice, Wendy. I'm telling you, at the beginning of the whole crazy COVID-19, there was that whole thing. By the way, folks, I vaguely recall that. Yeah, oh, hey, by the way, folks, this is a really bad but good joke. Did you guys know that Matt Gaetz has COVID-15? Yeah, because COVID-19 is a little too old for him. Oh, snap. Sorry, that was really bad. Hey, okay, no. So that's not me. That's a completely different Randall. Folks, everyone thinks that I'm the Jesus chatline Randall. I'm not. I wish I were, but I'm not. That's a great question. Thank you. No, I'm not. But a lot of folks think that I called into that show, and it's such a great video. It's really funny. If you haven't seen it, I guess do a search for Jesus Chatline Randall. Uh, it's really funny, but I know it's not me. And no, I do not do the voice of Linda from Bob's Burgers, although that's a fabulous compliment because I love that show and I think it's really funny. Um, I'm not. And let's see, animals that terrify me, all of them, except as life goes on, I'm becoming less and less terrified of nature. We need nature. You know, I think it was Albert Einstein who said it best. Without the bees, we are screwed, sister. Didn't he say that? I think he said that. But it's true. Like we need bees. And I don't know about you folks, but like lately, with all these crazy pesticides and stuff, we're just killing the bees. We're just helping to. I'm watching bees walk down the street these days. You know what I'm saying? Has anyone seen this? Where there's just like a bee walking? I'm like, you're a bee. Fly, pollinate, do your thing. But no, it's just walking back and forth from the house full of bees, down the street. It goes to the local, I don't know, gets milk or whatever, and walks back home to the house full of bees. Um, I just want to let you all know that I'm very excited about cryptocurrency and everything that's going on with that. But before I go on, I take any other questions or I continue talking about the auction. I just wanted to let you folks know that choosy moms know best. That's why choosy moms choose Jif. Don't be a honey badger. Give your son or daughter Jif. They'll love you for it. Be nasty. All right, I'm sorry. I was asked to do that. Oh, it was at night because gets milk. Um, I think that cryptocurrency is going to be the thing, the hot pajamas for a while. I want some snacks. I want some snacks too. Where can we go for some scraps? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and that's the other thing. It's like, message retracted. Scraps. Who wants those scraps? Everyone's always after honey badger scraps. Am I right? Those crazy dogs. The honey bird follows around the honey badger for some scraps. And then you see what other animals do with other. Oh, so what is this auction about again? Thank you. So it's an NFT, a non fungible token. Now, blockchain is a system. It's like a big digital ledger. And it's from that we have cryptocurrency and money, and we can see everything. Like it's a big ledger. So like if someone buys say Ethereum or Bitcoin, you could see it. Like you can go back and on the Bitcoin, you could see, like we could see who purchased Charlie Bit My Finger. Like if you go back, you could see, like you'll be able to see on the blockchain technology now, like who the rightful owner of that Charlie Bit My Finger video is. And um, just recently, they've started auctioning and minting NFT viral videos. So for not the longest time, but most recently, it's just been digital art for the most part, right? It's been like digital art that's one of a kind, never to be duplicated, and then it's placed on the blockchain system, and then folks can buy it and they invest in it. So basically, these coins, whatever they do, is how much what their value is the value of the coin. So Bitcoin right now is like a little over 35,000, I think, per coin. So it's like that. So now you have the honey badger, don't crazy nasty ass honey badger video on there, and they're gonna bid on it. There's an auction happening right now on OpenSea. Again, the auction comes to a close on Saturday. Thank you. Yes, definitely check it out. It's very exciting. Um, what's happening? I mean, I I feel like uh, I'm one of a handful of early folks to do this sort of thing. You know, people have been doing digital art, but not videos. So NetGems uh, was like, let's do this, and I said, yeah, let's do it. And what it does is it allows people to auction and bid, and then I don't know if you folks heard, but well, not that long ago. Thank you so much, Austin. Thank you. Um, I'll, I don't know if you're talking about my video or if you're talking about Charlie Bit My Finger. Either way, I do love Charlie Bit My Finger too. I love those videos. So I mean, nothing, guys. Does anything beat these early YouTube videos? YouTube has changed so much, and this is what I was talking about yesterday before I had an odd technical difficulty and I was cut off. But I was talking about how much YouTube has changed and how much Google and the whole digital um, uh, creator platforms have changed. The landscape is completely different than, I came out with the Honey Badger video we posted 10 years ago. So so much has happened between then and now. Um, and folks didn't really understand what to do with viral videos back then either. The YouTube cyber assassins tried to silence you. Absolutely. That's the truth. That's the truth. Listen, whenever you start preaching or saying something like this, or you preach to a choir, or you start dropping some truth bombs, some crazy things happen. I don't know. That's not the first time that sort of weird thing has happened to me. And look, folks, you know it. You have a conversation with someone in person, and then you go on your phone to Google something, and what happens? The topic or the subject of whatever you were just talking about will come up, right? They'll be like, "Oh, are you looking for this?" And you're like, "No, but creepy," right? It's anyways, the NFT and blockchain technology these are all the way things of the future. And just like it was 10 years ago when people didn't understand, and I didn't even understand what's a viral video. Someone was like, "Oh my Randall, your video's going viral." And I was like, "Oh my God, should I see a doctor? Like, what does that mean? What, I have like digital herpes? What does this mean?" And it's the same thing's happening again. Now there's another wave of like, here's NFT on the blockchain. And everyone's just kind of like, whoa, what? And it's great because at the same time, it's calling our attention back to the early memes. Memes. Disaster Girl. She recently sold, I don't know if you folks are aware of the Disaster Girl meme, which is one of my all-time faves. It's a photo taken, I think, in 2007 or 2005 of a little girl who has like this devilish smirk on her face, and behind her is whatchamacallit, like a set fire, like not a demolition, but it's like a purposed fire to a structure. Anyways, that's like meme heaven right there. And so she took it upon herself to mint that image, right? She put it on the blockchain, and then she auctioned it off, and it was bought. So I think it's really fascinating how now it's like this new wave has begun where it's not now. It's so weird. I mean, especially with the invention of TikTok, right? I'll tell you, folks, I'm going to be completely honest with you. When we made this Honey Badger video, I did not think it was going to go viral, and I only did it because it's something I always wanted to do. I'd always been narrating things ever since I was a little one. So for me, I mean, I would walk everywhere with my grandparents and just be like, "Oh, look at this fat lady eating her ice cream." But whatever. No, I wasn't nasty like that. But you know what I mean. I would just narrate things. Oh, look, it's a pigeon. Now the pigeon can be found in the northern part of New York City, and whatever. So, anyways, I was always doing that. So when I made the video, for me, it was cathartic. I had to get it out. I wasn't looking to become viral. But the crazy thing is, when that video came out, then everyone was at, so how'd you do it? So how do you go viral? Okay, what do you have to do? What's the recipe? There is no recipe. There's absolutely no recipe. Charlie Bit My Finger. That went viral. What's the recipe? You know what? If there is a recipe, it's this for viral success. Your viewer has to relate in some way to the content, and it has to be shared. That's it. If you ask me, in 2021, what is it? It's those two things. The product or the video or the artwork, whatever it is, has to be relatable and it has to be shared. Someone has to see and be like, oh my God, yeah. And then they have to be like, oh my God, look. And then their friends have to be like, oh my God, yeah. And then they have to share it and it goes on and on and on and on. Charlie Bit My Finger. Oh my God, look at this kid. Send it to my mom. My mom's like, oh my God, yes, of course, this kid. Sends it to her friends and so on and so on. There's no recipe because anything can go viral at any time. If it's not a honey badger or a Charlie biting a finger, it could be a golf ball that's hit off a wall and smacks someone in the balls or in the nuts. You know, it could be a jogger going down the street and grabbing scraps from someone who comes out of a Burger King. No one knows. There's no rhyme or reason. But what's so fascinating now is, so back then, 10 years ago, everyone was trying to figure out what is the recipe like? How do you do it? How can you you can get more subscribers and now things like this. And now we've just come to this, yeah, and Chuck Norris is more badass. I have to say, if there were a battle between a honey badger and Chuck Norris, everyone wins because Chuck Norris is the honey badger. See? You see what I did there? Videos have to be stupid funny to go viral. Absolutely. There's that's part of the recipe too. Absolutely. I mean, I'm trying to think of an instance in which someone created a video that was like sappy or serious and it was shared. And I can't think of it. Um I mean, no one's ever said, "Oh my God, have you seen that new ASPCA commercial? Oh my God, the one with like the dogs dying in the cages? Yeah, oh, it's so great. Oh, I know. I shared that video uh, so much with my friends. It's so amazing." No, no one ever does that. Or like a soldier coming home and oh, mommy, oh my God, it's daddy's home, and tears. Those that's not viral. At the end of the day, you're right. You gotta laugh. You gotta bust a gut. You know it's the relation through humor. Zofran, the True Facts videos. Oh, um, Z Frank. I've never had the pleasure to meet Z Frank, um, but I do admire his work. I think it's pretty cool. Stan McLaughlin, or however you spell it, right? Who commercials are popular and sad. So I had a huge conversation with ASPCA a few years ago, and I was like, guys, um, because I made some online stuff for them. Um, but my whole thing was like, guys, let's get them through humor. Let's get them through humor. Like, enough of the sad dogs and the music. Like, it's killing me. Like, it makes me so sad. And they were like, well, good, Randall. That's what we're trying to do. And I was like, yeah, but I think, some people turn away. I think if you had something funnier, like it'll entice people to go to the shelters and adopt. But I don't know. I'm again. I what I produced for them online was funny, but then ultimately they told me to go fly a kite, and as you can see, they have this Sarah McLaughlin ads. Hey, whatever works. If it works, maybe that works for them. But I'm just saying it's not. If that were a video on YouTube and not an ad that we see on television, the question is whether or not it would be shared. Maybe it would. I mean, I know I would share it just for the intent purposes of being like, help the SPCA adopt. But it wouldn't be out of like, oh my gosh, look how charming these dying dogs are. you know? But I mean, to each their own. That's the whole beauty of creativity and art and in production and in creating things is, um, you know, trying to figure out what does society want. You know, what are people interested in? If I could picture Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, Jeff Goldblum. Uh, the honey badger. That was a terrible Jeff Goldblum impression. I love Jeff Goldblum, but I think it's just interesting because it's we all have choices in our lives. You know, you have a choice right now. You have a choice. You can watch me or not. I have a choice. I can do this live stream or not. Everyone has a choice. I can go to sleep now, or I can go drink a glass of milk or water. Right? Everyone has choices, and what I find most interesting is just how we as a society, and on an individual basis, uh, choose or not choose to um, utilize opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Like what it's so fascinating to me to for like what makes things tick. Like the fact that these TFNs um, are really something now, I think is extraordinary. I really do. And it makes, in getting back to what I was saying about Big Bear, the Gary, the double rainbow fella, who I learned sadly today that he passed away. He has that fabulous viral video with the double rainbow and he's crying. Um, it's like it's for him. It's like this whole thing, this direction we're going in, where creators are now putting videos and artwork on blockchain. It's for someone like him who was just a creator on YouTube, just put it up because he thought it was cool, thought it was awesome, and wanted to share it with the world. And then it was art without realizing it. He created something artful and artistic and put it up for everyone to see. And now someone has a chance to own it if they wanted to. I mean, I don't know if his estate's going to make a TFN or not, but point being is like, it's TFNs are great because it brings us back to these awesome, awesome videos. And it also gives those who made the videos opportunity to make some money from something that perhaps they didn't before. I don't know. I don't think Gary trademarked quote, "Oh my God, a double rainbow" or anything like this. When I spoke with him, he didn't, and he was telling me he was getting ripped off a lot. Like a lot of people were just making double rainbow T-shirts at the time and stuff like this. And you have to reach a certain amount of subscribers in order to start monetizing. So I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't know how well he did with all that stuff. But it's just nice to know that like now a creator like that or someone who comes up with something like this in the same way that someone creates a digital art piece uh, or art visual graphic can make money now they can make money, you know and off campus away from YouTube and Google. So that's what I love about cryptocurrency, because it's away from our norm. It's away from the stock market. It's away from the USD. It's letting us know that there's a potential and there's a possibility that other forms of an economy can exist, and that's really exciting to me. I think that's all really fascinating, and so much has changed in the past 10 years since the birth of my honey badger don't care to now. Including with the species itself. I mean, now more people are aware of the species. I mean, that was huge for me. That was my mission accomplished. Was once I found out that the numbers were flourishing, that's all I really cared about. 100% honest, on my mama's life. That's all I really cared about, was getting attention drawn to this species and to wildlife. So, great. Mission accomplished. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is, it's like, you gotta take opportunities, or not. Sometimes there's an opportunity in not taking an opportunity, so to speak, if that makes any sort of sense on the matrix level. But Anyways, I'm just excited by everything that's happening uh, right now in society and with cryptocurrencies and with this NFT. I'm excited that NetGems and I are doing this together, and also they're working with the Numa Numa fella and the two friends. Damn commercials. Damn commercials. The two friends, and one isn't pretty. But I just want to thank you guys for tuning in and for asking questions and or just listening and yeah, check it out. Do some googling, look around. I'll put the links later. I'm gonna put the links to the auction and everything you need to know in this video's description. Um, and I'm gonna be back tomorrow night. So um, let me know how everything's going. I just want to make sure that everyone's doing okay, and just wanted to tell you about cryptocurrencies and what I'm doing here with the TFNs and YouTube and the state of digital creativity. I mean, this is really crazy. I mean, folks, we're not that far removed from everyone in a school going online, right? Like, how crazy was that? I mean, in a lot of ways, the pandemic showed us, like, oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Austin. I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate you tuning in. Um, I just think it's so crazy what's to come and what's already happened. I was going to say, I think maybe perhaps the pandemic was this just kind of like big wake up call. Like, hey, like, get used to technology. Like, oh, hello, Zoom. Oh, hello, Skype. Oh, hello, at home working, whatever that is now, and learning, right? That it's just crazy. It's so crazy. Basically, everyone's become a honey badger in the past 10 years. Everyone's just taking what they want. And it is the rise of the machines. It is. All watched over by machines of loving grace. You know what I'm saying? Soon we'll all be tucked in gently by robots. And by big robots named Rosie, who do our laundry and clean us and make sure that we're okay. Because who better to take care of old us than a robot or technology, right? And you see the how the pandemic affected all the nursing homes, right? And it's like, like I work at a nursing home, but I don't want to get COVID. Maybe it's better if they just have these things. They could just take care of themselves, and we'll just put them in a machine. Just sit down in front of a machine, and everything will be okay. It's not all that bleak, actually, to tell you the truth. And we've come a long way in the past 10 years too, in a lot of other ways, right? I love the fact that guys just can't whip it out every 3 seconds now, right? There's a little more thought, a little, but I mean, let's face it, you know, even well, I don't want to start getting political, but we still have a long way to go. It seems as though everything's like, oh yay, like now people do realize Black Lives Matter. Now people do realize that not to be assholes towards Asian people. But there still needs to be more that's done. Way more. But what's exciting is like it's everything's starting to bubble, right? And while everyone thinks that, the Trump presidency is what brought everything out to light, I say it was bubbling anyway. If it weren't him, it would have been with Hillary. Like all this stuff would have happened. I completely think that's true. I don't know. I don't know if you agree or not, but I think all of this crazy stuff and like the stuff that happened on January 6th, like all of it would have still happened no matter what, with or without Trump, a Trump presidency. I think people are just, as we start to lose our privacy, we as the people in the species are becoming more extrovert, right? I mean, what is privacy these days? What is privacy? It doesn't make sense. It's like so old and archaic and boring, right? Anyway, just something to consider. And I hope you all check out the. I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I just opened up a can of worms. I feel, and now I'm like getting off. Now I'm like about to get out of here. But I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for asking questions and chatting with me. And I hope you do come back in tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, same bat time, same bat channel. I love you all, and remember, just be a honey badger and take what you want, please. It's 2021. Just do it already. You have no excuse. Just do it. Just take what you want. I love you all. Bye. See you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. You too. Good night, everybody. Be well.